Hello everybody, I hope you are well. Quite a technical week this week. Some of the terminology suggests it's more technical than it really is. We all want to hit the ball further, so power accumulation or power creation, storage and delivery is one of the most important factors in the golf swing. This week we talked about the power accumulators and pressure points, and that sounds quite complicated, quite technical, but if we change that to sources of power or power sources in the golf swing, and from pressure points to contact points, and it's really different contact points on how we hold the club and in our body. So we talked about 4 power accumulators, so 4 power sources, and they are right arm, the cocking and uncocking of the target or the lead wrist. So for a right-handed golfer, that's a left wrist. So right arm, left wrist. We also talked about the roll or the rotation of the lead arm. So that really relates to the relationship of the golf club, the club shaft, through a flat left wrist and up the arm. And that rotation in the arm is a power source. And depending on how much of an angle we have in here, that then determines how much the club moves for the same amount of rotation. So if we've got very little angle in there, club doesn't rotate very far. Okay, so that was 3 power sources, and the 4th one is really this pressure point, where the contact point where the left arm for a right-handed golfer meets the chest, and that pressure gets added, particularly in the change of direction. So the arm will slide across the chest, and then it's coming off the chest, sliding off the chest as we go towards impact, and then it fires off the chest. Okay, I asked you to just have a little bit of sort of exploration about those power sources, and also about the contact points. So we talked about for the right hand, that power source is where the hand made contact with the sort of thumb of the lead hand, and that's to allow the pressure and the power from the right arm as it bends and straightens to drive into the back of the shaft. 3 fingers, top 3 fingers of the left hand, and that controls the cocking and uncocking of the left wrist. The hook finger, trigger finger, that point where it makes pressure onto the club here, and that allows us to monitor the club, and at the same time allows us to keep this orientation of shaft and up the arm, and that is the sort of forearm rotation bit. But this relationship, club head into here, so that sort of triangle here, that wedge here, that relationship stays the same through the swing. And obviously the 4th one was this point here. So now that we know what the power sources are and the connection points, either on the club or hands or here, and they are a way of sort of storing and delivering the power at the right time. So there's 4 power sources. If we don't apply them correctly or in the right sequence, we're not getting the best out of our golf swing. If we get them out of sequence, then we could have an inefficient golf swing. For example, if we're at the top of the backswing here and we fire, or we uncock the wrists up here, we've now got very little power to get back to the ball. If we straighten our, we'll try and straighten our right arm here, there's a chance that we'll end up coming out here. So if we try and straighten our right arm, we're now out here, and that's that swing that comes across the ball, and that's a classic slice swing. So there's certain sequences that we want to release them in, and it's not the same as the 1, 2, 3, 4 that I gave you. The first one that goes, so we're up here, arm across the chest, pressure point here, that is actually the first one that starts to go in the downswing. So as we start to use the ground and start to turn towards the target, our lead arm starts to slide down our chest. And I guess a feeling would be a karate chop movement. The back of the left hand here, fleshy bit here, is a karate chop towards the ball. So that's this pressure point's coming off. Down here it's not fully off, but it's coming off, and the pressure gets released. Then the right arm starts to straighten, but doesn't fully straighten, but it starts to straighten. So it's gone from bent here, straightening, then uncocking, and then the sort of forearm rotation blended in with the body as it rotates. Okay, so that is number 4 goes first, then 1, 2, 3. So that's the sequence, but they're very close together. From the top of the backswing to impact is no time at all. Okay, so that sequence is bang, 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 right? But it's 4, 1, 2, 3. Okay, 3 being this arm here. So that's the challenge for the weekend. Now that you've explored them individually, now put them together and in the correct sequence. So it's 4, 1, 2, 3. So target arm comes off the chest a little bit. It gets fired off after impact, but it's the one that goes first in the downswing. Then number 1, right arm straightening. Number 2, uncocking. Number 3, forearm rotation. But keeping, whilst the forearm rotates, it's keeping the relationship between the shaft and the arm and a flat left wrist. So you will, that impact position that we practiced a couple of weeks ago, is flat left wrist. Okay, as this rotates up into the finished position. So that's the homework for the weekend, and I'll speak to you again next week. Take care.